What's going on, guys? It's Rage, and welcome to the very last day of the Modern Warfare 3 PC beta. By the point in time this video goes up, the MW3 beta is supposed to be over. Unfortunately, we haven't heard anything about them extending it, so today on Monday is the official last day. So this video here is going to be the beta review video, just sitting down, talking about the game, all my opinions on it so far, things that I think could be tweaked. I'll have timestamps below and everything. If you guys want to jump around to different topics throughout the course of the video, feel free. For the very quick, too long, didn't watch kind of review for the beta, I think that the game right now is in a very solid state. Again, despite the couple of things here and there that I'm going to get into and talk about, I think that the overall foundation that this game has right now is very solid and can be easily improved upon. We have a great starter here. In my honest opinion, this is by far the best new Modern Warfare game that we've had. As far as like traditional multiplayer and everything goes, Modern Warfare 3 here completely nails it. With that being said though, again, there are still a lot of things that I do want to talk about. I do believe that the overall gunplay, time to kill, having red dots back on the minimap, that's all a fantastic thing. But the biggest problem with this game right now, and what could really hinder the experience of this game, is the spawn system. If the spawns don't get fixed, it's going to ruin the identity of these amazing maps. The spawn system as of right now really does need a giant overhaul. Now, me personally, being the Modern Warfare 2 dork that I am, I would really like to see, if it's possible, just a simple Control-C, Control-V for the spawn system from the original MW2 into this game. Because the spawns were already working very well in the original MW2 maps, and I feel like they would work well here. I also understand that for new game modes as well, like Kill Confirmed and Hardpoint, there's going to be some changes to it. I really do feel like having that classic spawn system from the original MW2 that we already know already works well within these maps. The thing of it is, going back and playing these classic Modern Warfare 2 maps, a lot of us already have a very deep understanding of how these maps work. And one of the biggest outliers right now, one of the biggest problems is domination on high rise. Like that right now, that's not how high rise plays. With the way the spawn system is right now, and again, especially with the way that domination is working, I think this is just the newer style of domination that I don't know what's happened since Modern Warfare 2019. Domination just feels like a glorified team deathmatch with flags. There is no zone control, and it literally defeats the purpose of what domination is at a foundational level. You capture the zones on the map, you own that area of the map. The enemies should not be spawning in your locations. They also shouldn't be flipping right away the moment that someone starts to push into enemy territory. Again, that's been by far the biggest problem with domination in this beta, and really just a lot of the newer Call of Duties as well, that it just doesn't play very well at all. It just feels like capturing the zones are completely pointless. I also do understand that we don't want to have this kind of like invasion C-trap spawn traps, or if we go back to COD 4, we don't want these bog wall kind of spawn traps where we're essentially shooting fish in a barrel. I can understand that we want to avoid that, right? But at the same time though, that's what domination is. If you own the A flag in B flag, you would expect the enemies to be spawning in C. That's where they should be spawning. But in the case of high rise, when you're consistently spawning in the enemy spawn underground, it just completely throws off the flow of the map, and I really do feel like that needs to be changed. I know it sounds pretty forehead for me just to be like, oh, just Control-C, Control-V with the spawn system. If it's not that simple though, we already have the foundation set in mind with how domination is supposed to work. Same thing also goes with Kill Confirmed and Hardpoint. I know these are brand new modes in the new game. Kill Confirmed is basically just glorified team deathmatch. You can use spawn logic and knowledge from the original MW2 team deathmatch and apply it here as well. Same thing goes with Hardpoint. You can take the original headquarters locations, use the spawn logic and flow of that, and have it be one-to-one or very similar here. Now, I will say this though, surprisingly enough, Hardpoint is playing very well in this game right now. Like, sure, again, like it's brand new and there are improvements that can be made, but when I play Hardpoint on most of these maps, I'm already starting to get a feel of where I should be expecting enemies to come from. I will say I was very fortunate enough to talk to Sledgehammer about this, and removing the slam cam, that spawn delay, getting rid of that in Hardpoint has genuinely been phenomenal. Seriously, thank you. Getting rid of it in all modes has been amazing. But yeah, I don't want to keep this long-winded tirade on the spawns going. I mean, we all know that right now they're in a very rocky state. I personally would again like to see the very classic one-to-one spawns from the original MW2 on these maps, because we already know that they work. And I feel like, again, that with these maps, with our original knowledge, we have this idea in mind of how they should be played. It just fits in with the map's identity. With high rise, again, we shouldn't be spending a majority of the match spawning underground. We have these giant buildings and the A flag and C flag there for a reason. We should be spawning and funneling out of there. If, say, for example, C flag domination on high rise, if you start to push into the office area, then yeah, sure. If there's a safe spawn underground or somewhere else on the map, then yeah, sure. The spawns will naturally start to flip then, but there's really gotta be some increased sticky spawn to the domination flow. I will say though that Exclusive Ace just made a video on the spawn system and it goes really well in depth. Definitely go ahead and check that video out. If I haven't already been clear enough, yes, the spawns are, in my opinion, one of the biggest problems with this game, but thankfully enough, this is something that can and will continue to be worked on. I said it in a previous video, but it wouldn't really be surprising if we have a very similar situation again to Modern Warfare Remastered, COD 4 Remastered. When that game launched, the spawns weren't exactly one-to-one to COD 4. It felt very weird. They were very flippy, but as time went on, they started to feel more like COD 4. Spawns started to feel a little bit more sticky, had much better flow to it, so I feel like we really will get to that point. If we can make the Control-C, Control-V one-to-one happen, hey, I'm all for it. Because then, if the spawns really are one-to-one of how they were in the original MW2, then you already got classic Ground War working for 9v9. But again, I know it's going to be a work in progress, and we'll see what happens. Next big thing I wanted to talk about is the communication from Sledgehammer. You guys absolutely killed it this weekend. Thank you guys very much. In terms of fixing battle rage and increasing the player visibility with nameplates, again, you guys did a wonderful job with the feedback on that. I can't wait to see what you guys do going into the future of the launch for this game. I thought I read somewhere as well that not only with more increased visibility on the nameplates, they were going to add in enemy health bars as well. I feel like that's really going to help out as well. One of the biggest things here in game that this is almost always a beta exclusive problem. I already spent a little bit of time talking about this, but when you look at a character like Blaze and then you look at the other character Blueprint here, they look almost identical. So it's not really a giant surprise that we've spent all beta shooting our teammates. I know that once the full game comes out, especially with carry forward, once we have all of the operators back in the game, it'll be easier to tell who's on what team because we already know what operators are on Spec Gru and what operators are on Cortac. Once the full game comes out, plus increased visibility with the nameplates, health bar, more things like that, it won't be that big of a problem. At least that's the way that I'm thinking about it right now. Also, one other thing as far as the feedback with this game, I know one thing that was talked about a lot was the movement with this game. I really do feel that the movement is in a really great spot. Even in weekend 1, before they ended up buffing the timing from the sliding to sprinting, I already thought it was good, but now it feels amazing. I'm loving the movement. I'm gonna save this rant for another time, but as a classic Call of Duty player, it doesn't matter to me whether tack sprinting or slide canceling is or isn't in Call of Duty. It doesn't matter to me because I play so much old COD, but I do understand the increase in skill gap that having good movement does give. I'm not opposed to it, but I feel like they've also done just a really good job of like striking that middle ground between something like Modern Warfare and Cold War. The movement's fast, it's responsive, it feels good. Genuinely, a great job. There are a few more things that I want to talk about specifically with Battle Rage here, but the biggest thing that I've noticed is that obviously it was taken from a field upgrade in the new Modern Warfare 2, and here in the new Modern Warfare 3, it's now a piece of tactical equipment. Please do this with tac inserts. I'm being so serious. Please do this with tactical insertions. It can be like the original Modern Warfare 3. Instead of having stun grenades or flash grenades, smokes, whatever, we can have that tactical insertion back. Instead of it being a field upgrade, and then also as well, maybe we can get rid of that 5-second respawn delay with it as well. One quick thing that I wanted to mention here about the kill streaks in this game. The counter UAV. I don't know why since Modern Warfare 2019, this thing is so weak and so useless. The thing can be shot down in 5 bullets. I don't know if it's going to be a possibility to make it more like their traditional UAV, but just have it flying around the map counterclockwise like a counter UAV in the traditional Call of Duties. Once again, I would like to mention, I do like how you can change between score streaks and kill streaks. I really do love this detail. One bug that I wanted to bring up as well, I feel like I've already seen that Sledgehammer has already addressed it, but with the way that UAVs and kill streaks are being called in this game right now, they replace the audio for an enemy UAV is airborne or our UAV is airborne.
Alpha. Enemies taking Bravo.
It's now just this one little sound effect that kind of sounds like it just blurs in with the rest of the game. I really do think it's extremely important for the announcers in-game to say the things like our UAV is online or enemy UAV is airborne.
Friendly counter UAV is online. Friendly SAE on the way.
Calling out enemy kill streaks, everything like that. That really is super important and I really hope that returns. One quick thing I did notice here with the Guardian is that depending on the placement of it, if an enemy is hiding behind it, they're like borderline invisible. One of the other big things in this game that I really wanted to talk about is the overall time to kill. Despite the MCW ACR and despite the Striker, the UMP being head and shoulders the best guns in the game for reg gunning, I really do feel like the overall time to kill right now is phenomenal. I'm being so serious when I say this. The feeling of the increased time to kill on this like Black Ops 4, Black Ops Cold War-esque style of time to kill is amazing. I will say I know there's been some problems with hit detection and I think that was one of the biggest problems here on the Bass B. Once they got this weapon fixed, it felt a million times better, and just overall, when you're not packet bursting, when you're on a very solid connection, the time to kill and the weapon response is actually phenomenal. I don't really want to sound like that that guy that just goes around saying, oh, skill issue, just hit your shots, but I don't know what to tell you, man. Granted, I've spent a majority of my time sniping, but when I go around picking up red guns and everything like that, it feels really good. It feels responsive. These kind of rifles, though, will need to be tuned. I, again, will imagine that the ACR and the UMP will catch some nerfs to kind of fall in line with the rest, but the starting AK here, SVA 545, AN 94, this felt really good to use. The MTZ 556 got that higher fire rate, so it feels like you have to hit more shots, but it's super satisfying to use. The Scorpion Evo Rival 9 feels really good to use. I picked up the AMR here a couple times, feels really good. They brought my G36 back from COD 4, absolutely love the feel of this as well. The PKM here, this thing it shreds. Despite the top two guns needing to be nerfed back a little bit to fall in line with the rest, and again, especially once all the Modern Warfare 2 weapons carry forward into this game, I think it's feeling great. I really do. Now, one thing I will say, though, that I'm a little curious about what's going to end up happening once the full game comes out is the weapon tuning. We don't have that here in the beta, but this is something that I hope gets cleared up, because eventually, man, I really don't think we need like 10-15 different hand grips on this weapon. And this is something that goes for Modern Warfare 22 as well as, I mean, we'll see how it plays out here in Modern Warfare 3, but I feel like there is just way too many attachments that basically do the exact same thing. I feel like in a lot of cases, yeah, you could have like a handful of attachments that really do show a clear trade-off. Having a couple different hand grips that will give you that bonus ADS, but you'll have worse recoil control, or you'll have a foregrip that gives you better recoil control but less sprint to fire. Having a handful of attachments like that show the clear differences without having to tune them, I feel like just works better. Having less is more in this regard. That may just be my opinion on it, but again, overall with the way that the guns have been handling in this game, there are truly no massive complaints out of me. Along with the time to kill, I wanted to bring up health regeneration and battle rage again. I feel like the overall health regeneration was a little slow in some cases, and I think I saw somewhere that it could take up to 7 seconds to be fully health regened. Now, I don't know what the plan is, whether there's going to be a medic vest, quick fix, stim shots, something like that to help speed up the regeneration. I do feel that the game could benefit from that, unless battle rage already fulfills that kind of stim shot or quick fix purpose. Personally, I wouldn't mind having stim shots back in the game. I think that having the Cold War style of stim shots where they regen every couple of seconds would go over pretty well. I know there's also that medbox field upgrade, and maybe that'll be incentivized to be used more. I don't know. But now I also know this is where it kind of ties into the way that they've balanced the snipers. The way that we've seen snipers be adjusted in this new 150 health setting is the way that they're dealt with flinch and aim assist on controllers. The flinch, the idle sway, things like that are the ways to properly balance them. Look, for as much as I love Cold War, I will say that if we don't have a situation like Cold War where we have something like the airborne elastic wrap that completely negates all flinch, then I think we'll be fine. But the way that I've got my builds here set up on the KV and on the longbow here, I have them set up for more damage range and flinch resistance, and at the same time, they still have a decent ADS speed to them. Now, I will say, coming from a sniper, one of the biggest complaints that we've had about the snipers in this game is that they don't feel like snipers, which might sound really, really weird, but they feel and perform almost kind of like marksman rifles. The KV inhibitor here is actually a pretty solid rifle. I really do like it a lot because it fulfills that kind of Dragunov M21 type of sniper. I mean, like, putting this first barrel on here, it looks exactly like a Dragunov. Here with the different kind of stocks as well, we have different stocks that, you know, make it look like a Dragunov, so I'm assuming that's the inspiration for it. Personally, with this sniper, I don't mind it the way that it is. The biggest thing here, again, was the surprising one here with the longbow. Like, it really is an AK-47 with a scope and a bolt on it. I've been trying to work out this longbow, and the way that I'm thinking about it is, again, this really is like the Outlaw from Black Ops 4, or especially the Mark II from Modern Warfare 2019 and 2022, the lever action. This is kind of what that sniper fulfills. If that's the identity of this sniper, and Sledgehammer had intended this weapon to feel like the Mark II, or again, to feel like kind of like that Outlaw-like sniper, where it's very fast, and if you hit your shots consistently in the upper chest and head, you're gonna dominate with this thing. If that's the identity, if that's what they had in mind for it, hey, that's all fine by me. Because I know that going into the full game, we're gonna have more snipers than this. We're gonna have a lot more to flesh out the variety of it. What I personally would not really mind seeing, as someone who prefers the slower, heavier hitting snipers, again, like the Springfield and COD World War II, what I would say, honestly, for the longbow here, I wouldn't mind if they slowed the bolt speed down a little bit for the trade-off of damage range, because this thing, in the traditional sniping sense, does not work. I know I have this one clip of me trying to actually snipe with this thing on a state, and it's just nothing but hit markers unless you shoot them in the head, which again, just feels kind of weird in the traditional sniping sense, but again, I'm not quite sure what what Sledgehammer wanted this weapon's identity to be. I will say though, the more that I've used the longbow, I really have got the feel down for it. It really is like the Outlaw Mark II, that fast. It's very rewarding. It's very fast. You hit him in the upper chest and head, you are golden. Definitely rewards more speed and accuracy, which I'm completely fine with. If they want that identity, hey, again, I'm all for it. I like it. But again, it's this whole like little sniper nitpicky thing where we look at it like it's just an AK with a scope on it. So I don't know. I guess like the snipers in the community are really just talking about how like it doesn't look or feel like a sniper rifle. Maybe like a slightly slower bolt for that damage range trade-off, or having like 10-round magazines that do a little bit more damage. Things like that, so, you know, like make it feel more like a traditional sniper, I guess, is kind of what a lot of us might be talking about here. But again, going into the full launch of the game, we're going to have a lot more variety, so it might get fleshed out, but we'll see what happens. Now, on to some of the more nitpicky things. I've already talked about a lot of these things in my previous videos on the beta, so I probably won't go into too much depth about them. For example, one thing with Search and Destroy, I would love to see the XP and SnD specifically go back to plus 500 for kills, or, you know, plus 1000 for a headshot, 500 for planting and defusing bombs. Things like that I would really love to see. With those little cards that come up in game with our name on it saying has called in a UAV or is on a 5 kill streak, if that could be replaced with our title cards and emblems, that would be really sick. It's already been done here in the pre-game lobbies, and I love that. Now, I know that this is by far the biggest nitpicky thing, the kill feed. I really would love to see a legacy kill feed option return in this game. Just something in the settings for us that we can switch it back and it's just like the original MW2 kill feed, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I've got the Steam Modern Warfare 2 config pulled up right here. I'm going to talk more about this in just one second, but I have a clip here that I want to specifically show you guys. So right here we've got the intervention on terminal. Started off with the collat, get a single. It gets split right there, but you know, right here is the traditional quad feed. This is the traditional 4 lines that we're talking about. Now what ends up happening here is I hit a triple. Notice how it gets pushed up to 7 total lines on the kill feed. This is the secondary line count. Again, with the Steam MW2 config, right here with Game Notify, I honestly go ahead and just delete this because that's the white text that comes up in chat saying this person has connected. We can get rid of that. Don't need that. This line right here, con game message window, 0 line count. The value of that should be 4. The message time for that should be 5 because that's the 5-second kill feed time. When I said the secondary line count being pushed up to 7, that's the value of it. But this whole section right here of the window line counts and everything like that, this is what we're talking about for a traditional legacy kill feed. So again, I understand that this is a very nitpicky thing, but if there could be a legacy kill feed option in this game, I would love to see it. Again, 4 lines, 5 seconds, being able to be pushed up to 7, maybe even 8 lines in the kill feed, going from bottom to top. Bottom to top meaning the kills come up from the bottom and push the rest of the kill feed up. We would love to see that. Now, this next little nitpicky thing that I wanted to talk about is something that I've already tweeted at Sledgehammer and at Ben, who is the UI guy here for Sledgehammer Games. I was asking if we could possibly see a return to form with a traditional classic XP bar here at the bottom. This blue XP bar here comes from the Modern Warfare 2 alpha or pre-alpha stages of the game when they had double XP enabled. Notice how the blue already matches the blue within the UI in the game. We also haven't had a traditional XP bar in Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2 2009. They only brought it back one time for Modern Warfare Remastered. I don't know why this ever got cut out of Call of Duty. Having this kind of XP bar on screen and just being able to see when we complete challenges, watching that XP bar fly up, I just feel like it ties in so much more with that like natural player retention and just seeing the visuals of it. Seeing the progression right before our eyes makes it a much more deeper interconnected feeling of it, and it's something that I really feel like should come back. I did see that Ben liked this tweet, so I'm just saying it'd be really cool to have. Ben, if you can make it happen, man. Also, I will go ahead and mention this, if we could have a bit of a return to form as well, where we have our faction logo down here and score of the game mode that we're playing, I feel like that would be really nice too. It'd be really cool to see like the new Task Force 141 logo or even the new Coney Group logo down here. I absolutely adore the fact that we have actual sub-factions back in Call of Duty. It goes so much deeper than most people realize, and in terms of just giving the game more identity, flair, personality, I do feel like having that more return to form would be really nice to see, but, you know, again, it's nitpicky. The final things that I wanted to mention are skill-based matchmaking and the report system. This has been an ongoing topic, as we all know, since Modern Warfare 2019, and yes, we know that skill-based matchmaking was evidently there in the beta, and it definitely made some games pretty unfun. I mentioned this in a recent video, but I still think there are ways to improve improve the system. The simplest way to put it, once you've put in enough time to prestige once or twice in the game, the skill-based matchmaking should be significantly tuned down. By that point in time, a player has put in more than enough time to get a feel for a game, understand how and what works. I believe that the stronger skill-based matchmaking should be designated for ranked play game modes and have significantly less impact in casual matchmaking. Secondly, I would also like to mention again the whole report system. The whole spam reporting leading to players getting shadowed or even permanently banned does need to be looked into. I don't know how much of an influence the studios like Sledgehammer, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Raven, whoever have on the skill-based matchmaking system, or even Ricochet, anti-cheat, and the report systems, but I really do hope that improvements to both of these systems can be continued to be improved upon. Overall though, again, as far as this beta has gone, man, I have really loved this beta. Like, I have been waking up every day for the past week excited to get on and play this game. I truly love the feeling of it. I really do feel like Sledge has got a great foundation for this game, but there are things in this game that I do feel like they need to change. Again, most importantly, the spawn system. The spawn system, a little bit of weapon tuning to the ACR and UMP, definitely bringing back the announcers that announce when killstreaks and things are being called in. Like, things like that I feel like are going to flesh out the overall experience of the game, and we have a phenomenal game on our hands here at a core basis. Overall, I would give this beta like a solid 8, maybe 8.5 out of 10. I know I spent a lot of time harping on the spawns, but that really is the biggest thing. I know I'm someone who holds a very unpopular opinion, or seemingly very unpopular opinion, of actually loving every single map in Modern Warfare 2, even Estate, Rundown, Derail. I love them all, man. That's the biggest thing. If they're gonna bring back all 16 of the original maps, they need to feel like the original maps. We can have the same map layouts one-to-one, but if the spawns are different, they're inherently gonna play and feel so much more differently, and it's just going to really throw off the original feeling that we have of these maps. Again, I know it's a work in progress. We'll see what Sledgehammer ends up doing with that, but yeah, overall, I have absolutely loved this beta. I've streamed it non-stop. I have the game on Battle.net, so I can't tell you guys exactly how many hours I put into this, but it has been a disgusting amount, even on PS4 as well. Thoroughly enjoying the game. We've got a phenomenal foundation for it. There's just these things that need to be worked on, and I really do feel like we are in for a phenomenal year. So yeah, with that all being said, I think that concludes my long-winded tirade on the beta review here. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below how you guys feel about the beta. What are your thoughts and opinions? What do you think that Sledgehammer needs to change? What would you rate the beta? I'm honestly really sad this beta is ending, but then again, we're only like 3-4 weeks away from launch, because 2 weeks from now, 2 or 3 weeks from now, we've got early campaign access, we've got the Haunting event in Modern Warfare 22. Like, it's gonna be really, really fast before we know it, and the next thing we know, we're at the launch of this game, going crazy. I am so ready to relive all 16 of these maps. I'm ready to go crazy. I got a great feeling for this year, and we'll just see what happens going in a full launch. If you made it this far into the video, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, let me know what you guys thought about the beta, and yeah, that's all I got for now. Thank you all very much for watching this video. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. It's been Rage, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care, everybody.